we want to talk about Deebo's contract. This is the big news of the day, but besides the fight, which was kind of, middle school stuff. Deebo signed the contract finally. That was a whole lot of drama for nothing. What do you think of this whole saga now that it's, I guess, over?
Okay, I have very definite feelings about this, Iggy.
Okay.
First of all, let me preface this by saying Deebo Samuel is a flat-out great player.
Mm-hmm.
He's the engine of the offense, unless Trey Lance really develops into something, and then they have two engines. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I love watching Deebo Samuel play.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tough guy. He's gifted. He's fast. And I assume he's a good teammate.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have praise for him as a football player. I still don't like what he did about his contract. So I'm trying to make a distinction between him as a player and how he conducted himself in this one area. I have no opinion about him as a person. I've never met him, about his personal life. I'm simply talking about this. Now, his agent represents Metcalf.
Yeah.
And they got roughly the same deal.
Yeah.
Which is around $73 million, a part of it guaranteed. In other words, they both got great deals.
Yeah.
Early on, and correct me if I'm wrong, Samuel started, I don't want to be traded because they're not coming through. I want to be traded. Whereas Metcalf pretty much kept his mouth shut.
Yes. Metcalf did not request a trade.
No, he did not request a trade. No. So you have two really outstanding players represented by the same agent, one shooting his mouth off and the other letting business take its course.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who hasn't been living under a rock for the last year knows that the Niners were never going to let Deebo Samuel go, and they would sign him to a very fair and good deal. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
I assume the agent knew it. So my question is, what the hell was Deebo Samuel thinking?
Yeah.
Did he think that by throwing a fit like a 6-year-old, didn't he take, like, he stopped following the Niners on Twitter?
Took pictures out where he was wearing Niner stuff.
And he wouldn't wear Niner stuff, and he started demanding a trade. Did he actually think that was going to give him a better deal? In fact, had I been negotiating with him, I would want to string it out to break his chops. Yeah. I would do that.
Yeah.
I don't feel that his behavior was mature or businesslike.
No.
I would not want to reward behavior like that. On the other hand, 49ers management, and I'm often critical of them. Not now. Jed, Parag, Lynch, Shanahan, they let business play out. They never said a bad word about Deebo. They always called him a fundamental part of the team and said, we'll work it out. They took the moral high road, and he took the road of a 6-year-old having a fit because he didn't want to eat the spinach that his mother told him, you have to eat the spinach. And he threw it across the table or whatever. So in this regard,
I thought he pulled a Veruca Salt. He wanted the Oompa Loompa now.
He wants the Oompa Loompa now, yeah.
He wanted the Oompa Loompa now.
And what happened to Veruca Salt?
Oh, she was a bad egg.
She was a bad egg.
Now,
I'm not saying that Deebo's
I'm not saying Deebo's a bad egg.
We don't know.
I wonder what I do wonder, though. I wonder if he cost himself money with this whole thing. Because, he got roughly the same deal as Metcalf, not a bigger deal, slightly smaller in guaranteed money. I wonder if it cost him a little money. The Niners are like, this is how you do business?
You know what? I hope it did. I don't think that's how you do business. And I don't think there was any call for it, Iggy. And what happened was it took the focus away from the team, and it put it on his fit, his grievance, his 6-year-old fit. He was.
And from what I understand, Dad, I mean, he wouldn't return their calls. Like, he was so upset, he was not returning their calls. And I believe, like, after the draft, John and Kyle had to, like, fly out and meet up with him and have a talk. And they didn't confirm it today, but from what I understand, that had to happen. And it's like, he still never said what the problem was. He was asked today, well, why'd you request a trade? And he kept saying, it's a business. Okay. Like, but what did the Niners do wrong? How did they wrong? Why did you not want to be here? And then why did you change your mind? Oh, it's a business.
You know why?
Okay, well, it seems like you had alienated a lot of people with this business move, and I don't understand how it was a smart business move. I mean, it didn't cost you maybe it didn't cost you anything, but I don't know.
But what I'm saying is, Iggy, when he doesn't answer directly, says it's a business, it means he can't justify how he acted.
Right.
He can't justify it.
Right.
His agent must have told him, just go in there and say it's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't dream that up on his own.
No.
His agent probably said, just say it's a business so you don't put your foot in your mouth yet again.
Yeah.
And that way he avoids answering and taking responsibility for how badly he acted.
Yep.
Now, again, Iggy, I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm certainly saying he's a great football player. I'm saying in this instance, he acted immaturely and badly, and there was no reason for it, and he made himself look like a horse's ass.
And he alienated himself with a lot of fans who I don't think will ever look at him the same way, or
Yeah.
you know, it was so unnecessary. And basically, so there were like 4 or 5 wide receivers around his age that got extended this offseason, and they all got roughly the same deal. So why was Deebo so upset? Like, why was he so nervous? It all was going to work itself out.
Yeah.
You were going to end up getting roughly what DK Metcalf and AJ Brown got. That was always going to happen. You all 3 have the same agent. You're all just as good as each other. It was always going to happen this way. Why were you the one who blinked? Why were you the one in March who was like, this isn't going to work out for me? Like, just
Iggy, he didn't blink. He fell apart.
He fell apart.
He crumbled.
Crumbled. Yeah. Why?
Why?
I'm sure his agent said, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is going to work
And
out.
look, if anybody's watching and say, well, he deserved more, I have no idea. He's going to be a millionaire for 10 lifetimes.
I
He
think
made
the
a
deal
lot
he
of
got
money
was
just now.
extremely fair. They gave him $60 million, almost $60 million guaranteed. That's the most they've ever given a player guaranteed. It was a 3-year extension, not a 5. That's player friendly. I mean, they gave him an opportunity to be a free agent again in his 20s.
I love it.
It seems to me that they gave him everything he wanted, and that his agent's probably really proud of that deal, extremely proud of that deal. So I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah. But now he can. He came out and avoided answering the question, but at least he presented himself. Now it's over with, and now he needs to get back to the business of being a football player.
I agree. I just wonder if the relationship can ever really be the same after this.
With the management?
Just in general. I mean, him and the management, him and the teammates, him and the fans. Like, it's a weird thing you can't forget that happened.
Okay, let's go over it real quick. The relationship with the fans are very fickle. He'll be good and they'll forget it. So forget the fans. The relationship with the players, I can't speak to that because I don't know the dynamic in the locker room. My guess is if he's a great player, they'll find a way to like him. Management, I don't think gives a crap.
Well, yeah, they just signed him.
I think they were above it.
Yeah, they were above it.